Alright, and we're back. Welcome to episode 2. The transportation system in the old resident district is pretty bad. There's a big street running through the center of the city, and sometimes there may be a bus or a train or even a taxi. But they can also be cancelled or delayed without notice, so they're really not reliable. Pardon me. The roads might be blocked at any time too, so nobody trusts public transportation. Even now, there are hardly any cars on the street. There's only one taxi waiting in vain and some junked cars parked by the roadside. The sidewalk is filled with people coming and going. The most reliable thing you could have are your own two The most reliable thing you could have are your own two legs. The hopeless old resident district is divided into north, south, east, and west. They're similar but have some differences. For example, the East District, where both Haibon and my home are, is a residential area mixed with parts of downtown. The whole district is relatively safe, and it's easy to get your hands on various things. The North District is an off-limits area, and has become something like a ghost town. It's unsafe. The West District is a residential area, but you can't really do any shopping there. And the South District is full of clothing shops, game arcades, and entertainment facilities, so a lot of young people go there. And if you go further than the North District, there's a Platinum Jail, a place full of celebrities and corporate purveyors. Platinum Jail is one of the 5 Japanese conglomerates, and when Toei Incorporated bought out this island, Midorijima, they transformed it to a members-only entertainment area. If the stories I've heard are true, everything there seems to be luxurious. Starting with the Oval Tower standing in the center of the city, there are huge casinos, movie theaters, shopping malls, and hotels. Anyway, it's packed with all sorts of things. Basically, you can't become a member unless you're invited, but the membership fee is about enough to buy this whole island, or so I've heard. Of course, people here in the old resident district can't get into Platinum Jail. The old resident district is, so to speak, almost like a slum, so it's tentatively managed to the degree that barely anyone can live there. But that's it. The police who only act big are teamed up with Yakuza and do whatever they want, so there's a huge difference between here and Platinum Jail. It's not like we can do anything about it. Even if we're unhappy, we can't do anything but endure and swallow it. Even so, it's often said that there's no place like home. So, once you get used to it, living here is unexpectedly comfortable. We're not cornered so badly that we can't live. We have our nice days. I don't wish for much. I don't mind if it continues like this. The people in the old resident district live thinking like that.
Alba! Alba!
Ren pokes his head out of the bag and taps my arm with his paw. What's the matter?
You're thinking too much. My thought circuit is almost short-circuiting.
Seriously? Just how poor of a thought circuit did I install into you?
If the intensity of the thought circuit is temporarily set to 100 and compared to the average adult male, the intensity of Alba's thought circuit would be...
Okay, you don't have to tell. It's me who's going to short-circuit from that explanation.
Is that so?
I involuntarily smile at Ren's earnest answer and stroke his head. Ren is a dog-type All-Mate. All-Mates are artificial life forms with intelligence, generally used as support for network tools. They can search the internet and virtual space for information, and of course they can also be used to shop online. Depending on the model, it's also possible to use one as a helping hand around the house, and they play an active part as a partner in a net game called Rhyme. There are many types of All-Mates. Among them are animal types, which have many different forms. Many people love them as pets. Ren and I have been together for quite a long time, too. I'm not exaggerating to say I would even call him my partner. Even as All-Mates improve and new models come out, I wouldn't abandon Ren if hell froze over.
Alba, if you want to take a shortcut, turn right at the next road.
That was close. I almost missed it. Following Ren's instructions, I enter into a narrow side street. Once I get through here, I'll be close to the courier. The thing that acts as a divider to the 4 parts of the old resident district is a street called Aoyagi Street. On Aoyagi Street, there are lots of stores where you can get common items cheaply. In contrast, there are also maniac hobby stores in the back streets. As I walk on the side street, a group leaning untidily against a dirty wall stand out. Like guys talking turns biting into a silver drug sheet. Oh, like guys taking turns biting into a silver drug sheet. That sort of atmosphere. What's wrong with punk kids these days? There was a time when I thought those kind of things were normal. I was the same. But hey, it's not like I'm old enough to speak like a grandpa. I'm finished with that kind of thing though. Totally. As I pass between the guys hanging out, the contents of their loud conversation reach my ears. So yeah, it seems like it really happened. Suddenly being hijacked in the head like this? What the hell's that? A forced rhyme participation? Yeah, it's exactly that. A rhyme game would suddenly start at some random roadside and the opponent is crazy strong too. But wouldn't that mean Usury's not there? If so, is it even possible to do rhyme? This seems like it's possible. I don't really get it though. And if you're not even prepared or anything, isn't it impossible to fight? So you can't refuse. Apparently it's a no questions asked thing. Anyway, being forcibly pulled in and then beaten is like a drive-by. That's pretty bad! They seem to be talking about Rhyme. Rhyme is an avatar-type online fighting game. When opponents connect their consciousness online with a device, they can experience a virtual battle that feels real. There's no notifications as to when and where it's happening at all. When Usuri, who performs the holding and judging of the game, appears, then that place becomes the field. At first it was a free game made by an amateur. The rules were loose and apparently there was no Usuri either. When it gained popularity fast, Toei Incorporated affiliated companies finally became sponsored. Then there was the strengthening of the system with the adding of Usui and set official rules, which is what Rhyme is today. Well, since I'm not doing Rhyme, it doesn't concern me. I pass through the alley and walk onto Aoyagi Street again. I can see the courier sign at the end of the wide road. While walking towards it, I notice a thick crowd in the middle of the road. It seems to be a loud fight. Curious onlookers gathered around and made noise. I continue to walk, trying to avoid the whole mess. A stir in the crowd suddenly occurs, followed by a shrill scream. I look into the center between the curious onlookers, standing on my tiptoes. A big, bulky man shamefully lies on the ground while another man stands next to him. The man standing was facing away from me. Even so, I immediately recognized him. A bright red kimono and a big sword. It can only be him. You're a big guy, but you weren't that much of a big deal. I can't believe you'd make a mess in front of such a fine lady.
Ah! Kojaka-san! So cool! So dreamy!
When Kojaku taps the sword to his shoulder, the heart-eyed girls rush to him while stepping on the man laying on the ground. Sheesh.
I'm really sorry.
A woman who was standing at a distance approaches Kojaku and apologetically lowers her head in a bow.
I was being selfish and I told him I wanted Kojaka-san to do my hair and he... So cheeky. Yeah, no one, it's your turn.
The embarrassed woman seems to be the lover of the man still laying on the street. Perhaps the two tried to enter Kojaku's shop and started an uproar or something. Kojaku controls the surrounding women gently with hand gestures and smiles at the bowing woman. Young lady, if that's what you think, then I feel nothing less than honored and privileged to be a hairdresser. Then again, you are all my precious customers. It's really important to keep the line in order.
Yes.
Your boyfriend was a bit pushy, but he was thinking about what was best for you. Don't blame him too much, okay? Well, please do come again someday. When you do, I'll welcome you.
Okay.
The troubled woman's expression changes incredibly quickly. Her eyes sparkle and she blushes up to her cheeks. Did this really have to happen? The other surrounding women apparently didn't like where this was going, so they start to push around the enchanted woman.
Hey, how long are you going to stand there? Move over. Kojaka-san, you broke a sweat, right? I just bought this handkerchief a while ago, but if you'd like, please use it.
No, I can't do that. You bought it because you liked it, right? You should use it for yourself.
It's okay. If Kojaka-san would use this, I'm sure this handkerchief would like it too.
Really? It too, huh? Since you said it like that, if I refused, I'd be out of line. I'll thankfully use it then. Kojaku takes the woman's hand together with her handkerchief and draws them closer to himself, smiling. Are you fucking serious? Thanks. There it is, his famous lady killer smile. At least that's what I call it. The handkerchief woman goes into a weakened state and attracts glares full of terrible jealousy. Every single woman seems to be poised for the kill. Let's go already. I've seen this act many times. Disgusted, I start to separate from the crowd. Oba. Crap. I know that everybody's attention is now directed to me. Don't call out to me, not now. This is bad. Let's pretend I didn't notice. I turn on my heels and quickly start to walk away. Hey, wait! Kojaku, disregarding my attitude, runs after me and catches my arm. Here we go again. Aoba, it really is you. Yo. You've got some bad habits. If you were around, you should say something. Well, yeah, I just happened to be passing by during work. During work? A delivery. Kojaku breathes out and smiles. The surrounding women's eyes become hearts again. That smiling is his habit from long ago, but there are plenty of women who still fall for it like this. It's like his sub-weapon. However, there are too many people, so speaking is difficult, and the women's eyes are scary. But don't you have work too? Then again, there's all this commotion here. Yeah, just because this guy here tried to ignore the line. Nothing too hard to handle. Kojaku points at the man who is face down on the road. If you won't give it a rest, someone's going to stab you. Stabbed? By whom? If you look around, you'll see. Feeling jaded, I look at the women who are glaring back at me. It almost feels like they're saying, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. If you get close to Kojaku, I'll never forgive you. With nothing but their glares. Well, it should be fine. Do I look like I'd be stabbed that easily? Kojaku lifts the edges of his mouth into a smile and laughs. This guy. But he certainly is skilled, so I won't say anything. Kojaku has been aware of the merits of his looks for a long time now, and not to put it bluntly, he's a casually confident man that's pretty good at fighting. He works as a women's hairdresser at his own pace and seems to be quite famous for it. He works according to his own whims and sets up his signs when he wants to. There's no notice, and he doesn't take reservations. Despite that, people always line up immediately. Whenever Kojaku touches your hair, it's supposed to send you to heaven. I can't even imagine how that works. Through my own eyes, this good guy act seems nothing but cheap. Anyway, keep the fooling around within bounds. How many women do you think are off crying in the shadows? You keep saying that, but I can't help it. It's shameful for a man to refuse a woman when she offers herself to him. Women are the treasures of this world. Women are pretty and cute, so I want to be gentle to everyone.
Kojaku-san, you're so cool! I love you!
Well, I guess it's fine like that then. Anyway, I'm going. Right. I'm not even gonna bother with this one. As soon as I was finished talking, the woman went back to mobbing Kojaku. Standing in the middle, Kojaku looks at me as if he just remembered something. Oh, that's right. I'll come visit your place sometime, so give my best regards to Tae-san. Yeah. I give a short answer and start walking again. Even so, that guy didn't seem tired at all. He does anything he likes just because he says women are treasures, but for me it's just impossible. Isn't it said that people like him are a certain kind of character? While listening to the women's bubbling voices from behind, I talk to the courier, or walk to the courier.